All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, happy Father's Day. It is 2024, June the 16th. We're
Yes, sir.
back in the building. Man, I got the guy himself, Mr. Run a Mile out here, Mr. Run 10 miles. That's crazy.
Yes, sir, man. We here. What up, baby? I feel
Man,
like we ain't do this in a few weeks. What's going on, man?
hey, living
What's
life.
taking us so long? Like why we?
We
What's
just
the hold
busy.
up?
We just busy. We just busy. I feel like people don't really understand. We both got so much going on. You know what I mean? And I was just in Atlanta last weekend, so it is what it is. We just didn't get a chance to connect. You know what I mean? I had a lot of stuff going on, so I apologize to everybody for us not being able to. That was last weekend was on me. So I just
Man, it is what it is, man. We working. What's going on? What we got for the agenda today? It's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all my fathers out there, to
yeah,
everybody that's present, to all the people
yeah.
all the fathers that's trying their best. Listen, man, you get a happy Father's Day if you're trying your best. Salute to you.
Mm,
If you're not trying at all and
mm,
you just gave up because it was hard.
mm,
I empathize with you, but still try. If you
mm,
are somebody who just didn't want to be there, but you agreed to lay down and have this child, middle fingers to you. You get no
mm,
empathy. You's a fuck nigga. But
mm.
what I will say is, if you are trying and your baby moms or your spouse or whatever is making it hard, keep trying, man. Keep trying. Understand that we do have rights as men,
Mm.
and don't allow the outside noise to get you to stop pursuing having a relationship with your child. It can get hard, it can, but it'll always be worth it in the end.
And so I saw somebody on social media, and this kind of was like, yo, it really touched me because it was like, yo, even if you are a step parent, yo, if you taking care of somebody else's kid because you then came into this woman's life, or if you know what I mean, got godchildren and you taking care of them, or if you got like, there are a lot of, they was like talking about uncles that come through and take their nieces and nephews out to get them shoes and clothes. Like, yo, all of those guys deserve to be celebrated. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because there are a lot of people, there are a lot of men that do things for their tribe and their communities that never get commended for that. You know what I mean? And like, we quick to forget about the $20 here and the 50 and $100 there. Like, bro, those things are essential to
Mm.
keeping a family going and keeping a tribe solid. So shout out to every man that contributes to their tribe's life and their community's lives. You are appreciated today. So take your win.
And more importantly, man, the time though, right? Like if you don't have the money, things are hard. Just spend some time with them, right? Like I think
Yeah.
we all fall on hard times, and
Mm-hmm.
we all are subject to it, and
Mm-hmm.
like things happen. But if you can, just make sure you make time for your kids, hold them. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a different dynamic between a man and a woman. And a woman might not understand it or appreciate it right now, but they will later on, right? So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you might be that disciplinarian that's disciplining your child, and don't feel bad about that, because like I know women sometimes don't appreciate that, and sometimes women have a tendency of telling men like everything they do wrong and not salute them for the things they do right. So like, because
Mm-hmm.
that's just who I am, I guess, right? I don't like talking for everybody else, but sometimes women can like make you feel bad about the things you don't do, but don't really acknowledge the things you do. So if you are the disciplinarian, man, just understand, like, give yourself some grace and love yourself, and understand that you are there making the life your child's life better, because you do need both dynamics,
That's a
right?
fact.
Like it just is what it is, man. So
Yeah.
salute to all my daddies out there, man. No
Yeah.
Diddy,
No, no Diddy.
no Diddy.
Oh man. So look, when this your first year being a father, like
It's
what is
not my
it?
first year being a father, man.
It's the second. Oh, I forgot. You done had other baby girl. You got baby girl. All right, all right. But
Hmm.
Jimmy, kind of give me an understanding of what it's like, you know what I mean, being in the space that you in now. Like, all right, you got a kid, you got two kids now.
Hmm.
Well, like once that connection was made with the first child, like what was it like waking up on Father's Day and hearing the positive words, and you know what I mean? Like, what is that feeling like?
I
Because
mean,
I'm not,
it's
I have no clue.
no, it's unbelievable, man. It's refreshing to understand that you know you have somebody to look after, and who depends on you and looks to you as somebody important, right? I never forget, like, one of the things that I appreciated about fatherhood before I even had my own biological daughter. Uh it was the fact that this I have a person who is very impressionable, right? So I have to be very mindful of the things I do, the things I say, and how I act in public and
Mhm.
at home, right? And those things are more important than anything. And I mean, shit, like even me and Sade has had conversations leading up to now about the decisions that we make being more important for our children than there is for us, right?
Mhm.
So I think that was one of the first things that I looked at, like, damn, like she's very impressionable, and just the little things I might do, I'll see her do. You get what I'm saying? Like I'll see her take after me and do. And I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta be careful. But like just waking up and hearing those positive things, getting the cars, whatever it is. I know we make fun of the 3-pack white tee, 3-pack boxes, but even just getting some type of acknowledgement, it definitely feels good. Especially being a stepdad, right? Because it was times where I came in, I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know, like, you gotta understand, like, I'm a man, and shit, if I have a daughter, don't touch my daughter. Like, you don't have to say you love her, don't pick her up, don't do none of that. I got it. That's how I look at it. I'm just being straight up. I'm
Mhm.
still growing, right? So I remember coming into Amaya's life, and like I didn't want to like lay in the same bed as her, change. Like I didn't want to do anything because I wanted to respect the boundaries, right? And as time goes on, we get a little comfortable with each other, and like I start to accept the role as a father, and not just a stepdad, but like a father in her life. And like it's beautiful, man, seeing that girl grow from 8 to now about to be 15, and just seeing the changes that she made, like understanding like little things, like when I used to like when I first met her, like just her being 8 years old, telling me that she don't like her hair, right, crying about her hair, or just making her own decisions. And I'm like, this is my first introduction to fatherhood. I'm meeting an 8-year-old, and I'm like,
Mhm.
man, this is crazy. Like driving back home from school and her telling me like what she don't like or what she do like, and I'm just like, man, this is crazy. So seeing that to like 15 to her almost shit going into like an adult almost, right? It's like
Mhm.
it's just it's incredible. And then again, I never had that experience of having a newborn, right? So having a newborn, seeing her have to depend on me for every single thing, not being able to do anything, to even now being 10 months, being able to like make certain gestures or let me know what she don't like to what she do like. Bro, it's man, it's one of the best feelings in the world. Like I can't even. It's not even a word that I can express, or a statement that I can express to express my gratitude and how much I love it. Like it's amazing.
I know with Amaya, I laugh because when I see her in video and even when I see her in person, she picks up so many of she has these subtle little things that she picks up from you.
Hmm.
Even like the way she talk like you. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I find that hilarious. Is like how much you imprint on kids as they
Yeah,
grow up.
and
You
that's why
know?
it's so important about the things you do, because even like, bro, just something small as like, bro, like her moms are from like DC, like like the PG area, Montgomery County, and like Amaya comes to Atlanta, she says like all her friends, she from Baltimore. Like, yeah, I make fun of it, but that shows you the impact that I had on her life, and that's why even like just going into the transition that me and Sade are working on is just it. It's like it makes it. I don't know, like I don't know how to explain it. I won't go there, but yeah, it's dope, man. Like I love that little girl for real.
Word. Man, shout out to all the fathers. Shout out to Raw Dope. You know what I'm saying? Ham, yo. Shout out to you, my bro. You know what I mean? I hope they giving you the big piece of chicken today. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And to all the ladies, if y'all tapped in right now, man, go show the brothers some love, man. And like let's get away from the 5-pack of teas and man, get that man some something. Give him some Jordans and you know what I
Yo,
mean?
what's the argument about the gifts? Maybe because
Well,
I don't
only
know. I'm just appreciative. Like, bro, give me
no,
anything.
I get you on that, and that's beautiful. But on Mother's Day, we go all out. It's not just flowers. It's not just you gonna get us some jewelry. You gonna get her a bag. You gonna da da da. We do the most, and we gonna take them out to dinner, and we gonna do the. You know what I
It's
mean? So
another
it's just,
birthday at this point. Is another
exactly,
is another birthday? Is another Valentine's Day?
exactly. And only thing I'm saying, and there are other men advocating for the same thing. It's like yo, put the same effort into celebrating your father the same way you would do the mother. You know what I'm saying? Put more thought into the gifts. Like if you know he liked the game, then give him a game. If you know he loves sneakers, give him sneakers. Like if he know he like da 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 da, like put effort into,
But
celebrate
on
this.
top of that, especially for the present fathers, like
Exactly.
I don't think women like. How do I have a conversation for men in the absence of women? Like I don't want to put no blame on women. I'm just talking about men specifically,
Mm-hmm.
right? I
Mm-hmm.
don't think women understand the pressure and how hard it is to be a father. Let's paint
Mm-hmm.
a picture. The nature of a woman is to nurture.
Mm-hmm.
The nature of a woman is to be a woman, right? Is to
Mm-hmm.
make sure you okay. It's to nurture you and it's to make your house a home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a child, although it is hard, that's just who you naturally are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
As a man, it's in my nature to provide. So with that being said, when I'm taking care of a kid, I don't even know where to start.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So again, I'm not trying to make it say who's hard. I'm not trying to, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just saying, imagine what we have to go through as fathers, not even having that nurturing bone in our body.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Y'all complain about us not being affectionate and things like that. For our woman, you're our woman. You're the woman that I'll put in front of everybody. I know some people will not like that, but like if we hear the arguments like who you choosing, your child or your wife, most men say their wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm willing to die for you over anybody in this world, and you talking about I'm not I'm affectionate enough or I'm not as nurturing, bro. I have a new child in here that I just met. I don't know what to do. That's hard, bro. That's scary. Like it's been nights where Alani will cry and like I don't even know. I again, there's no blueprint to this, right? So I was like, I have no clue what to do. I met Amaya at 8, and then I had Sade, right? So like, especially in this time, it's like, bro, it'd be times where like you don't know what to do. Like she might be crying. You think she hungry. She don't want the bottle. She's pushing the bottle away. So it's like, yo, she's not wet, right? So she didn't use the bathroom. It's like you don't know what to do. So it's like I want people to put more effort into the present father specifically. And I'm not taking nothing away from all the other fathers, but the present fathers who put their foot down and say, nah, we're going to do split custody. It's going to be 50-50, both legally and the other word, right? Like I want people to really understand and appreciate those guys. Appreciate the guys that could walk away when the woman make it hard for them to be there for their children, right? But they fight tooth and nail. They put up the money for the lawyer, right? Thousands for a lawyer, and it's $200 just to, well, it's like $80 just to write an email, just to respond to your baby moms. You got to pay a lawyer $80. Let's put some respect on those guys, right? Because even let's be real, bro. It's much easier to be a present father when you're with the woman, the mother of your child. And even at times I want to show some appreciation for the guys or the fathers that fought to be in their children's lives when they're not present, when they're not with their baby moms, because that's hard, bro, and it's discouraging as hell, especially when you're going through a breakup and it's emotions involved, right? I'm not blaming women, but I know sometimes you get emotional when it's like, yo, you do things out of emotion. So I want to salute the guys that fought tooth and nail to be there for their children, because one, it's easy to walk away, and two, it's easier. I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's easier to be a father when you're with the woman, the mother of your child, right?
That's
Imagine that dad that broke up, and now I'm dealing with the emotions of the mother of my child. We're not even saying, I'm not even blaming the woman. I'm just saying the emotions of her, right? She's doing things out of hurt and out of pain, right? And that is affecting the child. I have to now fight to be in my child's life when it's easier just to be like, man, you know what? She being a bitch. I don't have to do that. Forget it. So I just want to take the time to salute them guys, them fathers that really, like, I've seen it firsthand, bro. Like I've seen it. Niggas paying like thousands of dollars for lawyers just to be able to be present in their child's life is ridiculous, bro. It's crazy. So shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. Even more so myself, man. I want to shout out to y'all because I didn't have to go through that. And so happy Father's Day to all my guys out there. For all the dogs
My bad, my bad, my bad. Like, yo. Yeah, matter of fact, look, I just got a phone call from my father. So I was so
Oh
like, yo,
man,
shout out to all of the fathers, shout out to my father, shout out to everybody out there. You know what I mean? Look, are they gonna give you the big piece of chicken today, or you gonna be kicking it? You gonna be kicking it in the crib?
I got the kids today, so
Okay. All right, you got that.
I thought I was like, I thought like on Father's Day, don't I supposed to have be kid free, right?
Yeah.
Ah,
Either that or they supposed to take you, you know what I mean, take you out to dinner or make you dinner, you know what I mean, so you can put your feet up, you know what I mean. It's supposed to be relaxing. Look, I gotta look in an hour and some change. I gotta go pick my pops up. I'm taking them to the movies, and we taking them out the no, we taking lunch first, and I'm taking them golfing, and then if I have time after that, we gonna do the movies. But like, yo, that's
it's safe to
what you
say
gotta do.
I ain't getting taken out for no Father's Day.
Hey, but they'll get you to that point, man. Like, let me tell you something better than anything else. I heard that the daughters take care of the dad. You know what I'm saying? You take care of your daughters, they ain't never gonna let you be in no old folks home. They're gonna make sure you good. So, you
Hopefully,
know,
man. Hopefully.
you'll be in a good space. So, speaking of caretaking and massive craziness, I want to start with Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Gucci's new 1017 artists have suffered terrible fates. I think this is a conversation that nobody's having, and I'm starting to try to understand why we are avoiding this. I feel like this is an example of how we have a theory or a thought process on how we feel like we like to see our celebrities, but the reality of it is completely not feasible. So like, you want to have a label with all street artists. We want to celebrate street music. We want to support street killers, murderers, drug dealing, gangbangers. This is what we all about. So we make the music and we want to get real artists. I remember Gucci Mane sitting down with his wife and they have a conversation about what's been going on with his artists. And he says, man, hey man, I just meet these artists. They really from the streets and I give them opportunities. He was like, I can't change who they are. I'm like, that's great. But do you have to get all gangbangers and street people? Like, I mean, is that what it is? I kind of don't understand that. And not necessarily saying that he's wrong for doing that. But what I'm trying to say is like, how can you have a business grow if your biggest artist, Pooh Shiesty, is serving 8 years? Big Scar passed away. All right. Enchanting on life support. I think she just passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Foggiano serving 5 years. Hot Boy West serving 15 years. Good God. And then the last 3 dropped from the label. Excuse me, except for Hood Rich Pablo Juan facing RICO charges. Like, there has to be some kind of conversation about, I'm not saying that Gucci's wrong for signing these artists, but what I would say, Gucci, if you're going to sign these artists, there really needs to be some real therapy. There should be a process for you removing them from the streets, meaning that there should be an understanding that, all right, I know this artist is into some stuff. So like, look, bro, let me give you, look, I'm gonna put you in an apartment over here. Hey, if you in your streets in your state, maybe I need to move you out of state. You know what I mean? Hey, we need to put you on a payment every week. You can get X amount of dollars so you can support yourself and your family. There should be a realistic understanding that like, you can't, this is something that I've never understood from these like record labels. From these last 20 years, I've been involved in the game longer than I've been involved. He said, Raw Dope says you can't remove nobody from the streets. Then if you can't have an agreement with an artist that they're going to remove themselves from the streets, then you remove them from the label. Bro, like you can't walk on both sides of the street, my G. You just can't. There's a point where you have to be committed to building your career. You have to decide what's more important. Is it more important being connected to this? Because if Gucci signing you, you getting a decent check. So this is not about money no more.
I mean, we don't know that though.
But once
because
again,
these labels, things are changing. Like, I don't know if like when. So I've interviewed Enchanting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've interviewed other artists that's been signed to other artists, right? And they're still going to do the same thing we're going to do. They just got to look. And if anything, it's more frustrating because now they got people telling them how to work now. Now you sign me because of my creative ability, and you see something in me that you like. So now I
Mhm.
get signed to this label. I'm not getting that much more money. You might give me a chain, right? You might give me some distribution, but they're not really getting a lot of money that's changing their lives. I've seen it. And
Mm.
then on top of that, you got a label telling me what I should and shouldn't drop, right? So we can't really say that the artist can dictate to what their assignee is doing, right? Like we can't really say that, right? Like I signed this person to try to change their lives. They're still deciding to do what they want to do. I can't
Mhm.
change. I can't tell you what to do and what not to do, right? Because you're still going to do it.
If I'm putting you like at the end of the day, I feel like perspective is everything. I hear what you're saying, and I definitely agree. However, if I have a company and I'm putting money behind somebody, there needs to be an understanding of code of ethics and how to move. So like, no, I'm not your parent. I can't tell you where you can go and you can't go. But if you're going to be a part of this organization, there needs to be an understanding of you need to make that decision for yourself of how you're going to conduct yourself. And
Mhm.
then like, you know what I mean? And I feel like if you know you're trying to help people transition, you need to be more focused on the process of how to help them transition. So like you should know that just giving somebody a chain and some distribution is going to get them out of the situation that they're in.
Yeah,
Like, you
but
know what
it
I'm
can
saying?
is a it's but wait, it can though, because like we expecting too much out of this man. We talking about Gucci Man, right? Like in any we're talking about hip hop artists in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, why are we so entitled for them to do anything else? Like he signed her, he gave her a chain, he's giving her an opportunity, or anybody, not just Enchant. I don't want to just close this off to just Enchanting, but if I sign somebody, right, I'm giving you exposure and opportunity and a little bit of money, right? So I'm giving you a chance to change your life. You do with it whatever you want to do with it. Why I gotta get you the therapist? I gotta get you the housing as well. I gotta get you. I gotta get you a different mentality. Nah, like that should come with it. And if you don't want to change that, that shouldn't be on the artist. I see a lot of people trying to put this on art on Gucci because a lot of the people in this camp is getting killed. I mean, dying or in jail. That don't have nothing to do with Gucci. If anything, how I look at it from somebody that come from the hood is a dude is trying to put on people that come from where he come from, and everybody can't make it. If anything, you know what it says? It says a lot about Gucci because Gucci came up in the same environment, in the same circumstances, and he beat it. Not everybody can do that. A lot of people look at Gucci and think he's just this street nigga, this thug. But nah, it takes smarts. It takes some type of mentality to be able to beat the odds and beat all the adversity that you've been through and still become a household figure in hip hop in the hip hop industry. A lot of people can't do that. We have a lot of rappers around the world. A lot of people ain't Gucci. So when I see Gucci signing these young artists that came from a similar background than him, and they just go down a different path, I'm not blaming Gucci. If anything, I'm like, damn, Gucci really beat some shit because he clearly trying to help people change their lives and they ain't beating. I don't
Mm-hmm.
even know who did Gucci sign to. Like when it comes like an artist, nobody
He was,
took Gucci.
he was always independent. He was
Right.
always
So that look at
independent.
that. And so that right there, nobody that I saw took Gucci under his wing. Gucci made it out the mud himself. And now you have this guy that's coming from the hood, and what he's doing? He's doing something that wasn't done for him. So like, I get what you're saying. Like, yo, we should have some systems in place to help these kids not go through the same thing. But it's like, bro, I'm putting you in a better opportunity environment than I was in myself.
Right, facts. And I would like to say for the record that I'm not necessarily saying it's his fault that they passed away. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm only stating that if you want to raise the success rate of your signees, if you know this is the type of people you want to help, these are the people that your heart goes out to the most, and you want to give them opportunities, cool. Then let's recognize that, we're going to need a better system to get us closer to guaranteeing success.
Mhm.
That's the point I'm making. And no. Like I think Gucci is a benevolent person to go, yo, I want to help these street people because I went through this and I never got a helping hand. So let me be that helping hand. I respect him for that. But
Mhm.
also we need to be cognizant of, dang, like the first time something happened, we need to be starting to have meetings. Like the first time one of my team members does 8 years or gets killed, it should be all right. Label meeting, everybody come together. Come on.
So
you
I
know what I
inter-
mean?
I
Go ahead.
attribute enchanting, right? And then from my
Mm,
experience, from what I could remember, I don't think that these artists talk to Gucci a lot. Right, like,
got
they have label people they talk to, but even the label people that they talk to, the label people are on their ass, right? What I will
you.
say, the label people are definitely on the artist's ass, but that makes it if I you know what it remind me of? It remind me of a really strict parent and a
Mhm.
child. You could be strict all you want, but the child eventually gonna do what they wanna do, right?
True.
So, I remember interviewing Enchanting, and I remember, like, the label just trying to make sure everything went well. Like they telling her what not, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, bro, like I'm tired of this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I got the energy because I don't want to say whatever she said or whatever, but I felt like it's like, bro, like I can do this by myself, right? So
Mhm.
I can't I can't just sit up here and say that they're not putting these people in good positions. But you gotta understand, you still got the label, but you still have your independent camp, right? Because I
Mhm.
might be signed to whoever I'm signed to, and then we sign to the label, right? So like
Mhm.
I still want to move how I want to move. Like I and even in the interview, we did the interview twice. Like I won't disclose like what happened, but I remember like the first time interviewing Chant, you could see that she was hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like you could see that she was going through a lot. And the big scar thing, God rest his soul, that really hurt. Like they were really like brothers and sisters. And bro, she's young. I think she might have been 25, 26. Again, I don't even know. You can look it up. They got the age on the article. But it's hard to grieve as an adult with
Mhm.
the knowledge of understanding that we got to take time to grieve. We know that,
Mhm.
right? Especially in everyday life when the country don't give us time to grieve, we still got to go back to work, right? We
Mhm.
still got to pay our bills. We don't have time to grieve. So now you think about an artist who still has to make music. I don't even know if she was in the right state of mind to start making music again, to be honest.
Mhm.
Right? So like we're talking about a 25, 26-year-old who lost somebody that's like you could clearly tell that this was somebody that she really cared for, like blood, even though they wasn't blood. She
Mhm.
has no other way to cope. Or she don't know. She has other ways to cope, but she don't even know what she can do. She's only doing what she has access to what was in her environment, what she saw.
Mhm. Mhm.
So like I don't know, man. I think we just gotta be, and not just saying you. I'm saying I think all of us gotta be more mindful and more
We should
understanding
give
of
more
these people's
grace.
situations.
No, super appreciate that. Like, were there any elements of that conversation that are postable where, like, not saying the whole thing, but where there may be some good clips that might be able to come out of it, or
What, the
was it
first
just
one? I mean, no, I posted the interview. We did it.
oh,
We did it
oh,
again, and I posted it.
got you,
The
got you,
first
got
one, it was just nah.
you. No, most definitely, my G. All right,
I
cool. Like,
think Vlad or like or Adam 22 or somebody would have posted it.
yeah, oh yeah, they would have ran that whole thing and it would have been crazy. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So like, all right, let's move on to the next thing. Like this is just something real simple. Diddy had to give his so Diddy had the key to the city, New York City to be exact. And that didn't so since his allegations have come out, the video has come out, not just the allegations. The mayor of New York has written him a letter and requested that he give back his key to the city. And then subsequently, Diddy sent the key back. So let's clarify. They requested it back. He sent it. So let us not try to make this into a bigger deal. This is a part of this coordinated effort to dismantle his legacy. He's also sold his shares in Revolt, so he is no longer an owner in Revolt. That is, to me, that's huge. He already had problems with the company Diageo that he had his liquor deal with, so he no longer has stake in Ciroc, and I think he still owns De Leon. I think he was walking away with De Leon, but Ciroc is no more, and anything that's subsidiary that's a part of that is gone. So the only thing he's currently still owns is Bad Boy Records, Love Records, and De Leon. So my man, I'm super concerned with whether or not he will sell his interest in Bad Boy, and how much he would sell it for. Um, I would be super interested to kind of get a glimpse into the mindset of like, how do you navigate this? Because even regardless of whether he was sincere or not, he did come out and give an apology. He's tried to be, hey man, I effed up. The whole world went nuts on the apology. So it's kind of like, you're so toxic right now. I can't imagine how to operate in the space that he's in. So like, but I definitely feel like big chunks of therapy should be where he's at right now.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Go ahead.
I don't give a damn what nobody think about me. I love the way Diddy is handling this as of now, right?
Mm.
I mean, understanding what happened, do I wish he would have came out a little sooner and just it's hard to say because it's really up to subjective right now. Because even when he came out and said all of the lies that they accusing me of, I didn't do. Like one could say he was talking about everything in its totality. I don't believe that. I thought he was just talking about the little Rob thing and all of that thing, right? He clearly paid Cassie expeditiously, right? It's as T I would say, like fast, quick. So clearly he already knew it was some there you go. Right? Some people say it's hush money, whatever. He paid it. He paid it. So when it comes to how he's handling everything now, in my personal opinion, that doesn't change what he did. That doesn't change who he is. Just for me, I just can appreciate how he's moving forward. Because there's so many other people who wouldn't do that. I said this before. There's so many other people would die with their lie. He came out, he apologized, whether you think it's sincere or not. He apologized, he sober wrote, whether you think is trying to save face or not. It's people out here who's not doing anything in the midst of them being a messed up individual and being caught being a messed up individual. It's so many people out here who's going to die with a lie and think that they are the victim. The fact that he's giving back to his community, the fact that he's apologizing, the fact that, like you said, he gave the key back. He's not fighting this. He's not fighting this. So again, I'm not here to champion him. He's still wrong. That was some nasty work. It still was some whole shit. It is what it is. But can I appreciate how he handles it moving forward? Yeah. Come on, man. Come on.
Word. Most definitely. All right, let's move on to the next thing. But this is like an in-between, something I want to throw up here. This is crazy. Have you thought about chasing women who don't need saving? I thought this is super important. I want to get into this. This is not about bashing any side. Really, what I want to speak on is the man's psyche. It's difficult to. It's funny to look at that picture of Mario sitting on a therapist's couch, and the therapist saying, "Yo, you ever thought about chasing somebody that doesn't need saving?" But that's a part of male nature. We are builders. We are protectors. We are problem solvers. Our natural deep down core in our DNA is to walk into situations and solve problems. That's better. How we do stuff. We make things better. That's the only reason why we live. So to me, what I find hilarious in this picture is, yeah, man, can you not go in your nature? Can you not follow your nature? That's crazy. The question that really should be asked is, can you not chase the people that are not good for you, that don't deserve your saving ability?
Well, it's funny because you would never know that until you find out. Because we all are master manipulators in a sense. Like we give people the best of us when we first meet them. And sometimes that first meeting somebody lasts a year or maybe even 2. Right? Because all you're doing is showing up. It's the Instagram effect. It's showing up as the person that you think they want you to be, or the person that you think is the best version of yourself. So when things go rough, when things go hard, and it's time to be yourself, we start to get glimpses of it. And what happened is we start to get so many glimpses of it that we get tired. And it's like, okay, forget it. This person doesn't deserve it. I think we need to start at, and I'm gonna be a being a dead horse with this. I think we got to start off with ourselves. Like, who do we want to be in ourselves first, right? So when it comes to like being with a woman that you need to save all the time, why? And I just did an interview with Punch. Make sure y'all check it out on Patreon. He said, "X is the second why that really gets you to the understanding of it." Okay, so you say, "I want to be with a woman because I like to save women because I want to be with a woman that I feel like I need to save because I want to feel valued." Why? Once you ask that second why, then you really understand the depths of it, right? So, yes, I think as it's in our nature as men to be able to show up and make things better. We understand that. But you can't show up and make things better if you aren't continuing to make yourself better. And I feel like if we start by really loving ourselves, then we don't care. Because in my opinion, well, I can't speak for all men. I will never speak for all men. Where I'll go wrong at is I show up for somebody and I want reciprocation. But sometimes it's hard to reciprocate a love that's so big and so grand, right? Like, how can I repay you back for the love that you did? And sometimes, as a man, I need to get better at that, is not having those expectations of the reciprocation of the love. Because if I don't get the love back that I want, right, then I change into a different person. And that's not nice. So I think as men, we should always start with loving ourselves, because that's how does that look in a relationship? I love myself. I do something for you because I want to do it. So however you treat me after I do something for you, it doesn't matter. How else does love look? If you do something that I don't like in return, I don't get upset. I don't get nasty. I set my boundaries and say, you know what? I don't like this. I want to be treated in another way. So I might have to cut ties. That's what self-love does. But what happens is when we don't have self-love, we continue to dish out things. We continue to love people in certain ways. And when they don't love us back, when they don't reciprocate the love, we get upset. And once we get upset, we allow our emotions for us to react in an emotional state, which is never good. But if you can have self-love and then boundaries, we can avoid all these things. That's just my opinion, right? So you love yourself, you understand that, look, I'm showing up, I'm being me, and me being me makes this situation better. That's just who I am, right? If you don't love me back in a way that I deem you should love me back, it's okay. I have a conversation. If you aren't able to do that, but this goes both ways. You got to be able to be truthful with yourself. I communicate, say, yo, this is the love that I need back. Are you able to give me that? If you are honest, you say no, then I have to be okay with that and have to just walk away and find somebody else. That's what I think it is. This nigga Jay just left me. Like, but yeah, so we're talking about I'm gonna put it on the screen. Okay. So Jay had posted a question. What's up, everybody on Instagram, everybody on YouTube Live? He said, "Have you thought about chasing women who don't need saving?" I thought this was just a me thing. So me seeing this meme is crazy, because like my friends always joke with me like, bro, you always want to be Captain Save-A-Ho. Like, you always want to be like this Superman complex, I call it. But clearly this is just a man thing. We can't hear you.
My bad.
You good?
All right. I hope he agreed with everything that I was saying. All right.
No, I was just saying, like, it starts with self-love. I was saying, and self-love, a part of self-love is having boundaries. So like, and I was talking for myself, just saying, like, what happens is we show up wanting to be Superman, but we get frustrated when we don't get the reciprocation of Superman. When we don't get the who was the girl that wanted to be with Clark Kent?
Lois Lane.
Lois Lane. We get upset when we don't find Lois Lane, or Lois Lane is not in the woman that we've met, right? So, and I was talking from my experience, like, I show up, I do so many things for a woman, and even if she asks for it or not, right? And if she didn't ask for it, she might not even understand how she should reciprocate this love, because she didn't even know she needed it. Right. So I show up imposing my feelings on somebody else, expecting them to appreciate it and treat me a certain way. When I'm not treated that certain way, I get upset. Instead, what should happen is I be smart from the jump, right? I love myself. I find somebody who's on my level dating wise, right? I don't know. She's paying her own, I don't know, whatever that looked like, right? Then I add to that. Then I add to that equation. If she doesn't love me back in the way that I think I should be loved, have a conversation, and that's where it goes on the other person. She should be able to be honest with herself to say, you know what? Yeah, I don't agree with that. Or I can't love you in that way. And then what self-love looks like is me walking away.
The only pushback I would give is that in my perception of relationships and love is that I don't look at things in terms of levels. I look at things in terms of, does this person have the tools that I need, for me to grow as a man and to be nurtured, as a husband or a boyfriend. So like as long as she's got those elements, I'm good. If she doesn't, then I need to find somebody with those elements. Level ain't got nothing to do with it, because I don't care if shorty got bread or not. It don't matter to me. She could be completely flat broke with no job. I've dated a woman like that. We were in a relationship, and it didn't bother me. You know what I mean? I brought everything to the table as far as, hey, money and doing this. And I ain't got no problem with that. But as long as she's nurturing, and she's a cheerleader, and she's a support system, and she can take care of the things, cool, we good. That's no problem. And I feel like as a man, it's not like we ever really need that. We don't need you to be financial. I just need you to be a good partner.
Yeah.
Hey, I need you to be understanding and supportive.
Well, that's what I mean by level as well, because it'd be mental level. Like, do we see things? Do we see things in a similar way, but in a different way where we can continue to grow?
Correct.
Because I don't need somebody who's just like me. Right? We get bored. I want somebody who can be able to push me, but talk to me in a way that I can hear it. And I want to be able to be with somebody that I can talk to in a way that they can hear it.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep. And it's like, I want her to mimic whatever I'm bringing out. Like if I can speak to you with love and respect every day, you should be able to do that for me. And then, like, even if I'm upset, I can not call you out of your name. I can express how I feel without being, sarcastic. I can have an angry moment and still be loving and respectful. I want that in return. And unfortunately, a lot of modern women, have gotten to a place where they don't know how to be angry with respect. They don't know how to be in a relationship with respect. You know what I mean? Because there's this whole, like, you got to earn this, you got to earn that. And it's like, bro, like, that's not it. We should in general respect every person.
That's a fact. I mean? So I'm about to go out on a limb here, right? Mm-hmm. It seems like we're seeing a shift. Mm-hmm. And the shift is between men and women, but both mm-hmm. are shifting. Right. Mm-hmm. So men, I feel like we've already had a voice. We always had a voice as men. Mm-hmm. However, I don't think we felt like we had a voice in our relationship. Mm-hmm. On the outside, men has always had a voice, right? Mm-hmm. But now you start to see men being able to have boundaries, men being able to say what's okay and what's not okay, especially with the whole birth of Kevin Samuels, that whole run, right? Just men being men and being able to speak up for themselves. On the other side, it's like women never really had a voice on the outside. Mm-hmm. Now they're starting to have a voice. Now they're starting to say exactly what they want. And in return, in their relationship, it's like they gotta set their boundaries too. And now it's just clashing, if that makes sense.
So if I may, as a older person, I would say in the 80s, when I was young, women had a voice in that time period. It's just that their position in society was different. So, like, let's just say, and I can only speak from the Black experience, because I grew up in a Black family. So, like, in my family, the women run my family. You know what I'm saying? It was like grandma, the aunts, my mom. And then, like, it's not like men, it's not like my dad isn't the decision maker in the house. His job is different. Mm-hmm. And I tell when I'm on dates, I say this all of the time. Like, in the house, my dad makes sure the bills are paid. Make sure, hey, something wrong in the house. My mother would be like, yo, this thing is leaking. Cool, I'll knock it out. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to, hey, we need to do this as a family. We need to do that as a family. That's what my dad does. But when you talk about everyday operational stuff, when you're talking about, the kids need to go to this summer camp and all of that, my dad don't give a damn about that.
Mhm.
That's what my mother takes care of. That's what the family takes. Look, where we're gonna go for vacation. My dad don't give a fuck about that. He just want to know how much is it gonna cost. This is why. Tell me what's it gonna cost. And hey, this may be out of budget, so this may not be something we can do this year. We might have to do it next
But
year.
we're going into that's what I'm saying. We're transitioning to a place where women care about that now. Why?
Right.
Because women positions are changing. So they don't have to worry about the man paying the bills now, right? Because they're getting better jobs. They're getting more money, right? So now a lot of the things I don't have to deal with because I technically don't need you to fund my life when relationships are more than just money, right? But now because their positions are changing and they're getting a voice, we're starting to see them like this whole movement of women. I don't want to say just demanding what they want, and it doesn't align with what the man wants.
Right. Well, I would say more so women are moving in the space of having everything that men have, and they're going, don't you find me attractive? Because now I have power and I have money, and men are going, I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a damn.
I don't give a damn. And then the women are going, they're just getting upset because they're like, no, like, give me what I want. Like, love me and respect me and we go, but that's not what we're responding to. So the things that we love, like her being soft and, feminine and fit and this, or these little elements, even if she's not fit, we just want you to look sexy in our eyes. Whatever we are attracted to, we want you to exemplify that. And they go, don't worry about none of that. And then we go, what? No, like you can't change what makes us attracted to you.
But like this, what I'm seeing this through my experience, like I hear women say this a lot. And I think as a man, like we're just growing in opposite directions.
Right.
Like you'll hear a woman say, like, I'm gonna say whatever I want to whoever I want, whenever I want to say it. I'm not gonna bite my tongue for nobody. But as a man, we can never do that.
Right.
Never. Like I understand that if I get stopped by the police, like you see some men, but I'm saying for the most part, understand if I get stopped by the police, my job is to make it home. My job ain't to argue with this police. I know I can beat this police, whatever. Like that ain't my job.
Right.
But so as I'm growing to understand that I can't just say whatever, whenever I want, however I want it.
Correct.
Women, on the other hand, are growing kind of like in the opposite direction. Like they're growing into their voice. Like, no, you're not going to treat me like this because you're not this, you're not that. And I'm gonna stand up for myself. And it's like,
that's great that you've grown into that. But like goes back to let me make this point. Power still requires boundaries. What's happening is women are now acquiring the power that men have had for centuries. But what they haven't acquired is the humility and the knowledge on when that power is usable and when it's not. Whereas men have to deal with that from birth. I gotta learn who I can buck up to. If the dude is tall and muscular, I may not put the same sauce on, cursing him out that I would, somebody in my weight class. Like we have to understand the power dynamics.
But why? You know why? Because you understand what comes with that.
Correct.
Like you understand that if I buck up to a nigga that's 6'8", 225, I can get my ass beat on. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Whereas a woman is like, I don't think they understand.
Because they don't have to deal with that. We take that fear away from them. Men have created a world where women can just do whatever they want to do without repercussions. Just like I was with a friend of mine last weekend, and he's talking about this a horrible world that women live in, and men are horrible. And I'm like, bro, you a man, bro? You saying that? No, you don't understand. Women gotta perpetually live in fear. I said, why is that? He said, because men are we're rapists and we're this and we're that. And I'm like, no. I said, you know what the problem is that you and people like you raise women to be weak. If you want a woman to be able to not feel fear the same way a man doesn't want to feel fear, what do? You get in the gym, you work out, you take karate, you learn how to fight. You get into fights as a kid, you keep fighting. If you don't want to feel fear when you walk the planet, guess what? You become a predator. So if you want, I said, but instead of we just feel like we don't want to teach our women, if you want to be powerful and if you want to walk this work without fear, do what you need to do.
But I don't think that's a good thing. I think fear is.
Why is that not a good thing? I think that's just the reality of the world.
No, fear is necessary.
Yes.
So like
But what you do with the fear is what I'm trying to say. Teach them. What we've taught women is when you feel fear, put the pressure on everybody else to change, and you not change at all. So, all right, I feel fear walking out, but I want to be able to be naked. I want to wear like a 2-piece bathing suit and walk down the street. No. And then it goes, why not? See, that's unfair because you guys are going to look at me and guys are going to want to touch me. Yes, because animals are going to be animals. So put some clothes on. And that's what the problem is because now we're getting into this discussion of, yo, we're not saying that it's not wrong for a man to ogle you or to touch you. We're not saying that's not, but we're saying that's a reality of something that could happen.
Yeah.
So instead of putting yourself in that space, protect yourself. Take the responsibility for yourself. If my fat ass walk out the door and I get jumped by 5 niggas, yo, guess what? That's a reality of something I have to live with living in the hood. So guess what? I learned not to go down certain streets. I know not to fuck with certain people. I'm not going to walk up into the Chinese food spot that got 15 niggas out front and it's late at night and they high and drinking and they already rowdy. Bro, as a man, I know what to avoid whatever problems I don't want to deal with.
You're right. That's not my issue though. My issue is just, bro, because I'm for it. You feel like you should be able to walk outside wearing whatever you want. So be it. That's cool. I'm not upset with that. But don't look at life as something other than what it is. And that's all I'm saying. Just accept what comes with your decisions. That's really it. That's my issue. I'm not saying don't do that. So for example, the other day, right? Real life story. We met, we was at this bar, and it was like these girls that my homie was talking to or whatever, and I had came over there to say what's up, and Shorty kind of like snapped, like, because I guess they was in the middle of like talking about why she wasn't giving him I don't know, some play or whatever. So I came over there, I was saying, what's up, how y'all doing? My name is Jay. I reached out for a handshake, and she was like, I'm like, oh, okay, my bad. She was like, I got a boyfriend. I'm like, that's what's up, man. I hope y'all continue to do well. I like how you set your boundaries or whatever, but she was like just nasty or whatever. And I'm like, how do you? I'm like, because in my mind, I knew she was young because like how she was acting. And she was like, does it matter? Like if you had a girl, what you want? I'm like, I mean, if I had a girl and she was out and she seen a guy, he said hi, like there's nothing wrong with her greeting the guy, like, whatever. So she was just like just snapping, like, yeah, nah, I don't speak to niggas, da 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 da. And I'm like, she told me her age. I'm like, okay. You like, she said she was 20. I'm like, yo, listen, you're like 5 years older than my daughter. And I would tell my daughter the same thing, but she ain't even want to hear it. Like I end up walking away. But in my mind, I just want to let her to know, like, yo, you can have boundaries, but still be respectful. Right. And even if like you gotta understand, you're a woman, you're not even a woman, you're a girl. You first of all, you're somewhere you're not supposed to be at because you're at a bar, right? And you're 20 years old. You shouldn't even told me that, but whatever. If men approach you, which they are going to do, there's nothing wrong with saying hi, because at the end of the day, it's about making it home. So when you snapping at all these different men in here while they're intoxicated, you got to make smarter decisions than that. I'm not saying that it's okay, because I'm like, yo, we just seen a girl in DC, I believe, get killed, or I don't know where it was at, get killed because, or New York, whatever. We just seen a girl get killed because she told a guy no. Be smarter than that. Like, you can have a boyfriend and still be faithful to your man and all that, and still be respectful.
Let's take the same person, the same situation, and say she's not a woman, she's a man. If you walked into a venue and you like, what's up, dog? And he like, yo, what the fuck you do? It could have been a fight. And then you walking around the whole room with the attitude, somebody's gonna whoop your motherfucking ass. And guess what? Nobody's gonna go, it's an unfair world. Oh my God. Oh, it's gonna be, no, bro. Why are you walking around with an attitude? Why are you being shitty to everybody? You're asking for an ass whooping. But once again,
no. I'm sorry. That's the thing. People are going to walk around and be like, it's an unfair world. Why is he doing that? Side note, guys, this is a separate conversation than P. Diddy. Just letting y'all know. What happens is the world plays to that, right? Not both are wrong, but let's paint the picture, right? You walk in there, the girl walking there with an attitude. She should be able to not, like, if she don't want to be talked to, that should be fine. We have sensitive men out here, though. Right? We have cowards out here who can't deal with rejection. She's been a complete asshole. So some
Mhm.
could say she brought it on herself, right?
Mhm.
She's being
Mhm.
nasty to somebody. Somebody actually does something. The world goes, she's a victim. Now she never really learns from the mistake, that the part that she played in it. I'm not saying that that's okay, guys. I'm not here to say that if you don't put your hands on nobody, you shouldn't be touched. I get that. I'm just saying that's not out the world that we live in. That's not the world that we live in. And we think about it. We should be able to get stopped at a routine stop, at a routine police stop, right? And get
Mhm.
a ticket and leave. That's what
Mhm.
should happen. In
Mhm.
so many cases, that's not what happened. So I'm speaking to the reality of life, right? So if you go into a bar, you're nasty with men, a man put his hands on you, we look at he's a coward, which is true, but we act like two things can't coexist. You also had a nasty attitude, and we could say that
Mhm.
you brought it on yourself. We gotta
Mhm.
address both issues, because
Gotta address it.
if we don't address both issues, one gets overlooked, and you're going to continue to make the same mistake.
And okay, so this is where I'm going to become the bad guy. One is not at fault. Reality is not at fault. What happens, power versus not having power is just the reality of existence. The individual with power has the ability to do what they want to do. If they are a cop, if they are a judge, if they are a president, if they are whatever. Yes, those people in power are there to protect those who are not in power. That's great. We put those people in power for a reason. Yeah. And sometimes the reality is sometimes abuse of power happens. Sometimes that person in power is having a bad day too. And they have the power of letting their anger out on the person that doesn't have power. I.e., if I'm a big guy, and guess what? I'm getting shitted on by girls every day. Every day, girls is shitting on me. You just come and push me right over the line. Is he wrong for being treated like shit and it now affecting him? Yo, like, it's just the reality of life. The point, I think we're getting further away from the point I'm trying to make, is that we have to raise all of our children, boys and girls, to look at life the same way. And I know that's hard because women just naturally look at life differently. But the core element is you need to, if you don't want to live in a world of fear, erase the fear through preparation, through education, through, social, social education, learning how to, you could be upset, but everything doesn't need to be displayed. Baby girl, you don't like guys approaching you, but that does not mean that now it gives you a license to be verbally abusive to everybody around you. You need to learn how to curb that. You need to say, hey, it's nice to meet you. No, thank you. I appreciate it. I just don't want to shake your hand. You know what I mean? But it's all good. I hope you have a wonderful day, and walk away. You learn how to maneuver. You know what I'm saying? I've had times when dickhead ass niggas come rolling up on me about a ton of dumb shit. I'm still not gonna be like, yo, get your bitch ass. Blah, blah, blah. No, I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, how you doing? Hey, bro, look, right now I ain't got time. Same way we got to deal with hobos. Homeless dudes on the street asking for change every day. Somebody come up to me, hey, bro, you got a couple of dollars? Not today, brother. I apologize. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I don't owe that nigga no apology. I don't even owe that dude to talk to him. But I like to at least respectfully announce people that I see you. I see you, brother. Unfortunately,
but that's why I think power is important. Now, going back to it, because think about it. We are all scared of something. If it's not the person because he's bigger, right? It's of our reputation. If it's not reputation, it's not. If it's not because of your reputation, it's about life itself. Why? Because life brings karma. So think about it. Like I think being scared of something is important, because if you erase fear from it, then we get people doing whatever they want, and that's a terrible world. But if you're fearful of something, then you can be a good person because of what you're fearful of. It depends on what it is. I'm not going to approach this 6'8" nigga 220 because he can kick my ass. I'm not going to approach this this small person and whip their ass because of what I might be perceived of. I don't want to be looked at as a bully that could take money away from me. Or I'm just not going to be a dickhead to somebody because I know that what goes around comes around, and I don't want that to happen to me. But if you erase the fear of all three of those things, then you have a monster. You have people, i.e., like Diddy at the time when he did what he did, right? Exactly. Because he didn't fear anything.
Yeah. And i.e., young women who were not taught that you are not exempt from dealing with these problems. You're not exempt from consequences. Hey, you walking out the house with an attitude, You know what I mean? My family, when the young women, my cousins, when they was young and they want to have an attitude, snatch them up quick. Hey, before you leave up out this house, tuck that. Hey, put a smile on your face. Act like you know. When you introduce somebody and you don't, they standing there not saying nothing, say good morning. Learn how to interact with people. Should become a requirement on our children, on us, to teach our children how to conduct themselves. I don't know why that is such a problem. On, if the kid don't want to say nothing, they don't want to say. That's that new age bullshit. They just don't want to say nothing. They don't want to eat vegetables. I don't care what they want to eat. This is what's for dinner. Eat it. This is how you conduct yourself in public. Why? It's not about them and their feelings now. It's about saving their life in the future. It's about teaching them how to navigate. It's about when it comes to, like, this is the difference between now and back in the day. Back in the Stone Ages, I loved it because guess what? Coming of age was about what? I'm going to send you out into the jungle. Don't come back until you caught something, you killed something. Showed us that you could survive. Show me that you could survive on your own, and then you could come back to the tribe. 2024 is coming of ages. You barely make it through school, and then you ain't got no skills. Your parents don't want you to have a job. You don't have no skill set for nothing. You can't fight. You can't run. You can't do nothing but play video games and be scared of the world. Bruh, and how does that help the society? The weaker and weaker and weaker we make our children. I mean, and I'm saying children because it's both boys and girls, because even the young men are growing up weaker. And like you throw off the power dynamic, you throwing off the natural flow of how men and women should rock with each other. Well, how in the world does anything happen? Why you think in Japan, like, niggas ain't having babies over there? That's why they fucking they offering men $75,000 to move to Japan just so they can have sex with the young women and have children, because the culture has gotten so men don't want to deal with women and women don't want to deal with men over there. The guys don't even know how to build relationships. They just will work their jobs and stay alone. Read about it. Google this shit. I am not lying. Google Japanese men and how this whole new generation, they don't want to deal with women at all. They get a job.
I don't know, bro. Me personally, I'm not raising my child to be in a world of what it should be. I'm raising them to be in the world of what it actually is.
This is
point blank, period. Like, and we ain't looking at how it should be. Yeah, you should be able to get stopped by police and they ask for your license and registration. And you should be able to reach for your license and registration and give that officer your license and registration. And you should just get a ticket and go about your day. No, when you see the police sirens, before you pull over, you reach in that glove department box, you get your ID, you get your registration and your license. You put it on the top of the little department right there. When you pull over, you have it in your hand. You got your hands on a steering wheel after that. And you say, here's my license and registration, officer. You might ask why I got stopped for. And if they don't want to tell you, cool, it's on record. And if it's not, who gives a damn? Get home. That's what it's about.
Get home.
It ain't about you wanting to be the bigger guy or a pissing contest to let them know that you know something and you went to college and you know your rights. Fuck all that. Because you can know your rights 6 feet underground, and now we missing you.
That's a fact.
It's about getting home. It's about doing whatever you got to do to see another day. And I think what happens is, and again, I'm not, I don't even like the whole men versus women thing. But in relationships, both men and women, sometimes I feel like men cheat because, one, they're horny, but they don't value the relationship that it's not even a relationship. They don't value the possibility of losing the person that they're with. So that's why you can have you have lack of self-control and move how you want to move. And on the flip side, I feel like women are disrespectful to men because they don't value losing their man. They can't understand it. They don't think it's fathomable because men usually don't leave women, right? But if you understand the value in something, then you do what's necessary to be done. If you understand the value in God, you follow the book. If you understand the value in your life, you don't do things like, I don't know, speeding without your seatbelt on. It's little things that we contradict in our everyday lives. That's why it's not working. There's a lot of things that we say we value, but our mouth, but we see that we really don't value by our actions. You say you value your life, but you don't wear a seatbelt. You say you value your life, but you don't wear a condom every time you have sex. You say you value God, but you do things that's the opposite of what God says in the Bible. You say like it's so many things. You say you value your children, but you're not showing up for your children every day. You say you value your life, but you're not taking care of your health. You don't go to the doctor. Like it's so many things. So that's why it's like we can't even be upset at each other. It's just frustrating because at the end of the day, we all do it with something. So because you don't value me, you're going to treat me how you think you should treat me, and you think you're going to get away with it. Nah, but that's why it goes back to the tightest up. It goes back to what I was saying at the beginning, self-love. Because if you don't value me, only God continues to accept you when we don't value him. I don't have to be that way. God died for me not to have to be like him, for me not to be perfect. So, okay, you don't value me. I'm going to show you what happens when you don't value me. Snip, snip. And then maybe you'll value somebody else because then I have boundaries with myself. But what happens is we get in this ripple effect. The last person I was with, I didn't value them and they stuck around. So now I'm thinking that when we do break up, it ain't me, it's them. So I don't need to get fixed. I go into the next relationship and I don't value them the same way. I'm either cheating, being disrespectful, whatever the case may be. And you get the same ripple effect. But guess what? When one do, all can do, right? So if I set my boundaries, you go to the next relationship, he set his boundaries, eventually it's going to click in your head like, I can't move like this. But when we all move in the same way, nobody thinks nothing is wrong with themselves.
Yeah, I mean, but I that's why I advocate for separation conversations, meaning that like if I seriously dated you and then we break up, I'm willing to have a conversation to talk about why I'm leaving, you know, and I'll try to do it without, you know, hey, I don't want there to be anger and animosity, but these are the things that I couldn't deal with. Like, yo, I normally do that towards the end of the relationship. I'm letting you know, hey man, I'm not feeling this. We've had this conversation multiple times, and it just seemed like, because I feel like there should be an understanding when we separate, an understanding of what happened. This is how this broke apart. So that way, and a blessing that I've had is I've really, in all of my relationships, when we broke up, it wasn't about infidelity or dumb shit like that. It's just really, we come to the point where we realize this isn't going to work. And I'm not saying that it's like we ain't shed tears and niggas wasn't hurt, but it's like, yo, like if you're going to have mature relationships, communication is a part of that. Being able to say what's not working and what's working is important. But that's important for you as a man to be able to look in yourself and go, yo, I do like to be spending time with my girl. So if she don't make time for me and I'm getting pissed off about it, you have to be able to verbalize that. Man, girl, I only see you once a week. What the hell? Or, you know what I mean? Yo, you're not giving me what I need. I need verbal. Hey, bro, babe, you don't ever compliment me. You don't ever say, honey, good job. You don't ever say you appreciate me. You know what I'm saying? And I like, man, like that's super important. We need to learn what we need. And that's what having relationships is about. Hello. We go through relationships so that we can learn what we need and what we don't need.
But we also got to learn how to just hear too. God damn. Because you could tell
Yeah,
somebody, hey, I need this. And the first response be, well, you didn't. It's like, bro, I'm saying I would love for you to compliment me. The response shouldn't be, well, you don't never compliment me. Or, yeah, but it's like, bro, how can I compliment you more? Right? And if I did do something, we can have that conversation. Maybe that might not be the best time to have that conversation, but however, we could have that conversation. Okay, babe, I want to be here to compliment you. Is it a way we can put some systems in place where we can compliment each other? Because I feel more entitled or more, I feel more entitled to compliment you when I feel like I'm getting complimented as well. Right? But those conversations don't go like that, babe. I need to be more complimented more. Well, I want to compliment you more if you compliment me. Well, yeah, you don't see me like, bro, what the fuck? I came to you with an issue. Now we got two issues because it's like, God damn.
And in that moment, that's when you say, hey, babe, it seemed like you're triggered. And this may not be something that at this point, that may not be something I could talk to. To me, the hardest conversation is, hey, babe, I can see that you're going through something and you need to speak to somebody. I don't have the tools to help you. You know, would you be willing to do this therapy thing?
Mm.
Like, I hate how even in 2024, women I date, I'll be like, yo, you need to speak to a therapist. And I don't need to speak to nobody. I know what I'm doing. And I'm not crazy. I didn't say you were crazy. I was saying that there are things that you are dealing with that is causing you to destroy yourself. And if you can't deal with these things, I will have to remove myself, because as a person that is going to therapy myself or dealing with my own things, like, yo, I don't want what you doing rubbing off on me. And now I start developing bad habits. Shoot, I'm trying to undo all of the bad stuff I did for the last 30 years. So like, hard conversations, man. But that's the reason why I say we need to be willing to fall in love. We need to be willing to be in relationships. We need to be willing to listen. We need to be willing to talk. And we need to be willing to make better, not keep saying, accept me as I am. No, we should be all on a journey to be better. How can you be a better mate? Stop you trying to sell something that doesn't work. Accept me I'm always got an attitude. So if you don't like it, you don't have to be here. Okay, well, I'm not going to be here. Why would I said, I've asked somebody that. It's like, so do you think that it's fun to be in a relationship with somebody that's perpetually upset? Think about that. If I'm out here getting my ass kicked every day, out here at work and in the world, trying to make my dreams come true, I'm already somewhat depressed myself. You're going to take me into a darker space. You have to find out why you're always upset, and you got to understand, like, well, that's just not my life. That's not what it is for me. Well, I can't be here.
Because I think, but that's the thing. I ain't gonna lie. Like me, we could talk about this all day, but I don't know. It's hard, man. It's hard for both parties, because I can see the frustration from a woman who, again, like we talk about their nature. Their nature is to nurture, and when it comes to nurturing, a lot of the times you are on the back end of that, right? Our nature is to provide, and many times, or those who are fortunate, we're able to build a life around a life doing something that we love to be able to provide. So if you look at that, right, and you think about it, the woman is constantly reminded of the pain that she's in because she has to live in it. I'm home taking care of home. I don't have time to do what I need to do for myself to make myself happy. So that you will be upset every single day because you're living in it every single day, right? As a man, yeah, I'm working, but I think we enjoy for the most part whatever we choose to do. We choose to work. There is some instances where we're just working somewhere where we hate it, but for the most part, we choose to work, and it's something that we don't love. It's something that we can tolerate. You get what I'm saying? So we are able to go out in the world and put something towards us at the core, even if it's something that even if it's not playing the game, it's something we don't love. It's something that we're still putting something towards us. Whereas though they don't really have a choice. Well, we all have a choice, but at the end of the day, they didn't really make a choice. Like, yo, I'm here. I'm the woman. I have to nurture the home. I have to nurture the baby. I have to nurture my spouse. So I can see how that's frustrating, and I want to be empathetic towards that. I do, and I am. I try. My only thing is how we deal with it, because it's even times I'm not perfect, but times where my money might be funny, and when a nigga money ain't right, you get a different nigga, right? But who do you become in those moments of adversity? That's all I'm speaking about. I'm not mad at the woman for being upset, because I get it, baby, honey, come here, give me a kiss. But I can't say, come here, give me a kiss, when I come home and you continuously fighting me. I can understand it. Tell me about it. Let me know it's frustrating. Tell me that it's hard. Let me empathize with you. But when I can't, it's hard. Not I can't, because there's some men out there who do a tremendous job at this. It's hard for me. I ain't there yet to be able to see through the fire and see this little angel. I'm not there yet, because I was getting my ass kicked too. Shout out to the men who can see through that, right? It's some men who could, hey, I know it's just frustrated. Come here, give me a kiss. Yeah, man, I ain't on that right now. Like, I ain't there yet. I ain't there yet. I'm just saying, you feel me? So like, all I'm saying is we got to do a better job at it, helping each other, because I truly understand it. Like I can repeat it. You know what I'm saying? Flip it and reverse it, because I understand it. What I can't understand, what don't register me, is when you fire with me. That's
Right.
that's what I can't deal with.
Right. And then in closing, because I gotta go.
Oh
But
yeah.
you know, in closing, it is super important to kind of break down what he's saying. We all are dealing with stuff, pressures from the outside world. We're all dealing with depression. We're all fighting with demons. But the problem is that when we build the habit of bringing the demons everywhere we go, and like a man is accustomed to dealing with pain on the outside, but trying not to bring it into the house. We're told to shut up, man. Don't, just deal with it. And I think a lot of times we were taught and raised to don't bring the demons into the house. When you come home, be home. You know what I mean? Try to just deal with it because you don't want to disrupt the harmony. If there's harmony in the house, don't disrupt that. You know, but with women, it's express it, tell everybody, you know, and then especially with young women that like are, you know, you're raised by a mother or a family members where that's all they do all day. It's just like they are perpetually getting themselves triggered. They get something that gets them upset. So now they call a homegirl to be upset. They call a mama to be upset. They call it, and then they just can't wait to see because they want to keep triggering themselves and making themselves more upset instead of learning how to, express it, let it go. Don't need to keep bringing it up. It happened. It's done. It's over with. Don't bring it into the house. Don't disrupt the harmony, and then understanding that the harmony within the four walls or between the relationship is necessary for the health of the relationship. And there can be times when we can approach each other and say, do you have the capacity to handle this? There's something I want to talk about. And then, she can express herself without us giving solutions. I just need to decompress. But also, she also needs to learn that once I say this, I need to let it go. We don't need to bring it into the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day and on forever. Because guess what? That's not growing. That's not releasing. And if you don't release stuff, it's just like a bag lady. You want to take everything with you forever. And I'm mad every day. And guess what? You're always going to be mad because why? You're still holding on to it. Let that stuff
go. Who was
go.
it? Erykah Badu?
Yeah.
Say bag lady.
You gonna hurt your back. Yeah, you're gonna miss your back. You're gonna hurt your back. Hell yeah, man.
Like you can't hurry up. You're gonna miss your bus. You gonna hurt you can't hurry up because you got too much stuff. That's what bro, like we're trying to catch this bus of happiness, success, whatever it is. We gonna miss that bus because we got too much stuff with us. We carrying too much baggage with us. You gotta let it go. Because when you let it go, you can hurry up a little bit. You can get there a little quicker. And
you got to understand is, look, guess what? The more successful you become, the bigger the problems come. So if you can't deal with these little teeny small problems, how you think you're going to handle big problems? How are you going to do that? And if you're going to grow a family, guess what? Big problems are going to come. The kids are going to fall. They're going to fail in school. They're going to, they might get straight A's and Harvard wants to take them on. Guess what? You still got to clothe them. You still got to house them. They could be the smartest kid. Everything good can happen. But guess what? Good problems happen. Good things happen. And that causes new problems that need to be solved. But you have to learn how to guess what? And you acknowledge the problem, you express the stress of it, but you got to deal with it. You got to release it and you move on to the next thing. So with that being said, while I'm mad late, I'm going to be late to pick my dad up. Hey man, I love you, brother. It's good to see you. You know what I mean? You looking like $1 million over there. I'm going to be in Atlanta soon. We're going to be running together. All right. I'm just letting you know, when I come to start running with you, bro, you can't be goddamn pushing me.
I'm not going to do that. I don't know why everybody keep thinking that.
I'm be running. I'm running like an old nigga. For real. Hey, make sure y'all hug and kiss somebody today and tell them you love them. You know what I'm saying? Go out and have some fun. Enjoy good weather and enjoy good health or bad health. Shit, just enjoy it. Fuck it. Because this motherfucking life is going to go off in a flash, baby. But anything else you want to say?
No, that's it, man.
That's good, man. Appreciate you, Mona. Appreciate you, Raw Dope. Everybody that tuned in. If you was in the If you was in a live, shout out to y'all. We love y'all. We'll see y'all next Sunday. We'll be right back doing the same old thing. That's it.
My dog, we out, man. See y'all later.
Peace.